Hi, and welcome to Crypto Wallets. In this episode, you're going to learn everything you need to know about what a crypto wallet is, the types of crypto wallets that exist, and the functions of a private key and a public key, and also how you can keep yourself safe from scams and other kinds of exploits. So with that, let's get into it. What is a crypto wallet? To explain crypto wallets, we have to first look at an analogy, right? So everyone has a regular wallet, right? So you store your ID, cash, receipts, credit cards, all of that stuff in a regular wallet. But a crypto wallet doesn't store any of that kind of information. It just stores a public key and a private key. It works more like a password manager than anything else. But before we continue to public keys and private keys, it's important to remember that your crypto wallets don't store your cryptocurrency. Your crypto actually lives on the blockchain. So your public key is more like a username, and your private key is like your password, right? So if you go into any website, you have to put in your username and password. That's kind of like how you use your public and private keys. Another way to think about your public and private key is like an email address, right? So if you have an email address, anybody can drop an email into your inbox. That's kind of like how a public key works. So your public key is just a string of letters and numbers. And if you want to send crypto to somebody, you would need to know their public key, which is essentially the same as your email address. But only you can open your email because you're the only one that has the password. And that's exactly how a private key works. So the private key is also a string of letters and numbers, which no one else knows except for you. And that way, you're the only one that can access your own crypto wallet. So when you combine these public and private keys, you have your own crypto wallet. Also, in Web3, everything you do online requires some sort of confirmation, and that confirmation needs to be signed. You sign those confirmations with your private keys. If you don't have the private key, you can't sign the confirmation, which means that you can't send transactions to the blockchain. The next thing we need to review is the seed phrase. So, a seed phrase is like the master key of your crypto wallet. The seed phrase is 12 to 24 words that you can use to restore your crypto wallet. It is the most important thing for your crypto wallet. Don't ever lose this. So you might be thinking, well, I have a private key. What's the difference between a seed phrase? Well, the private key is the password to a single address, right? So if you have one email address, your private key would be the password to that single email address. A seed phrase is the password to your entire crypto wallet. This means that if you have a crypto wallet with 20 different crypto addresses in it, if you lose the seed phrase, you lose all 20 accounts. So crypto wallets can have many different crypto addresses within them, and each address has a pair of a public key and a private key. So this is how it actually works. You have a seed phrase that generates your crypto wallet, and then your crypto wallet can store any number of crypto accounts. So if you have a Bitcoin address, right, your Bitcoin, you would have your Bitcoin public key and you would have a Bitcoin private key. Also, if you have an Ethereum address, you would have an Ethereum public key and a private key. So the seed phrase generates your crypto wallet generates your public and private keys, and you can have multiple different types of crypto accounts within one wallet. Let's say your Bitcoin private key gets hacked. If that happens, then you would lose the Bitcoin that's inside of this address, right? Because each public key is paired with a private key. So if your private key got stolen, then anything in this address would also get stolen. But that means that your Ethereum address is still fine because they don't have the private key for this address. If they had stolen your seed phrase, you would lose everything, right? So the seed phrase is the most important thing for your crypto wallet. Whereas if they steal just a private key for one of your addresses, then you would lose access to that address, but you would be fine with your other addresses. So here's a bird's eye view of how this entire transaction process works. So let's say I want to transfer some crypto to Stephanie. Let's go step by step on how this works. So here is the blockchain, right? And all of your crypto assets live on the blockchain. And the way that you access them is through your private keys. So you have the blockchain, you have your assets, and then you use your private key to move these assets around. And then your crypto wallets store your private keys so that you don't have to memorize that complicated string of letters and numbers. So if I want to send Stephanie some crypto, I would need to know her public key, which is like her email address. So let's say I want to send her 1 Bitcoin, right? If I want to do that, I can't write the transaction directly onto the blockchain. I have to have the nodes write it for me. So the way I do that is by paying a gas fee. And the gas fee is used by the nodes as a payment for their services. After the gas fee is accepted, the nodes write the transaction onto the blockchain and our balances get updated. So if I sent Stephanie 1 Bitcoin, my account would show that I lost 1 Bitcoin and her account would show that she gained 1 Bitcoin. And this transaction would be recorded on the blockchain for anyone to view. This is an overview of how a transaction goes from your wallet to the blockchain. The first step is you sign a transaction, right? So you paid the gas fee, you used your private key to confirm the transaction, and then that transaction goes into a pool of all the signed transactions that are occurring at the time. Then the nodes that maintain the blockchain, they pick from this pool the transactions that have the highest gas prices, because that means they get a larger fee. So they want to maximize their profits. So they're going to pick the transactions that have the most gas fees. Then those nodes put those transactions onto the next block. And then when that block is full, it gets attached to the blockchain. And once it's attached to the blockchain, it becomes permanent. So the most important thing you need to know about crypto wallets is security. And that's because once your crypto wallet gets hacked, there's nobody that can help you. There's no customer service. There's no company you can contact. You can't even go to the police because there's nothing they can do. It's like someone stole your cash and now you're just out of luck. So keeping your crypto wallet secure is the most important thing you need to learn for cryptocurrencies. So some of the most important do's and don'ts are for your private key and your seed phrase, you want to put that on a paper with ink, right? And then you want to laminate that paper and put it in a safe deposit box or some place where you know that it'll be very safe. Another thing you could do is you can memorize your seed phrase. This is kind of like very difficult to do because if you don't remember it correctly, then you're kind of screwed. So this is memorizing your seed phrase is a lot more difficult to do, but it's one of the most secure. Like no one could take it from you if you memorized it and you don't have it anywhere else, right? And one of the best ways to memorize your seed phrase is to take the 12 to 24 words that are in the seed phrase and create a story out of them. But that's a lesson for a different day. Another option is to buy a crypto steel wallet or get a hardware wallet. And we'll cover what a hardware wallet is in a minute. One of the things you definitely don't want to do is mistype your private key or seed phrase. If you mess up on typing in your seed phrase, then you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. So double check, triple check, quadruple check. Make sure that your seed phrase and private key are written down correctly. Another thing you don't want to do is give someone else your seed phrase, even if they pretend to be somebody that's trying to help you trying to provide some customer service, or if they're pretending to be someone like a representative from Coinbase or some sort of company. If they ever ask for your seed phrase, immediately like hang up and disengage. No one ever will ask you for a seed phrase. And finally, you should never store your seed phrase on your computer or your phone. In fact, you shouldn't store it on any device that's connected to the internet, because these devices get hacked all the time. So anytime you're trying to keep something very safe, always keep it off of the internet. So the key takeaways is: don't store your stuff on your computer or phone. Never give your seed phrase to anyone on the internet. Doesn't matter who they are, they'll never need to know it. And if your seed phrase is compromised, immediately create a new wallet and transfer all of your assets as fast as you can. So there are 3 types of crypto wallets. You have paper wallets, software wallets, and hardware wallets. The most common type of crypto wallet is a software wallet. In paper wallets, the keys are written on a piece of paper and stored in a safe place. This is a great option for long-term storage, but it's a terrible option for daily wallet use, because you'd have to manually type in this entire string of letters and numbers, which is your private key, anytime you want to sign a transaction. So it's not very practical to use on a daily basis. But if you want to store your crypto for years or decades, then a paper wallet is a pretty easy way to do that. But the biggest concern with paper wallets is that they're easily lost or destroyed. So security is going to be your top priority here. Software wallets are super convenient to use. They make it as easy as PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. And the way they work is they download into your Google Chrome as an extension, or any other web browser that you're using. You just download them as an extension, and it's very easy to sign transactions and basically use crypto on a daily basis. But this convenience comes at the cost of security. So software wallets are not a good option for long-term storage, because they're always connected to the internet and they store your private keys on the wallet itself. So if your computer gets hacked, or if you have, if you click on the wrong link and someone's able to gain access to your crypto wallet, they can drain all of your crypto out of that wallet. And finally, we have hardware wallets. Hardware wallets are a good balance between security and convenience. So a hardware wallet is more like a physical device. So it looks a little bit like a flash drive, and it has built-in encryption so that viruses and hackers can't access the device or steal your private keys. So this is probably the best method that you can use to stay safe while still being able to do daily transactions in crypto. Your 3 key takeaways from here should be: a crypto wallet is just an app that stores your private and public keys. Your public key is more like your email address. Your private key is like your password. And you can have hundreds of public and private keys on a single crypto wallet. A seed phrase is 12 to 24 words that generates a crypto wallet. This is the master key to everything that's on that wallet. And finally, your assets don't live inside of your crypto wallet. They live on the blockchain. Your crypto wallet just holds the keys that unlock the assets on the blockchain. So if your computer ever blows up, your coins are still safe. You can restore all of your assets on a new computer as long as you have the seed phrase. And that concludes our lesson for crypto wallets. Next, we're going to set up a crypto wallet and start using Web3 protocols.